Hello and welcome to the first episode of Reality Rumble, the versus show with a twist. Now, I've not really done much describing how the battles will work or how this system will work. But before I do, I want to just shout out Smash Bracket, another versus battle show which centers around Smash Bros. And pitting each of the playable characters in that game against each other in a giant fighting tournament. And I've taken quite a bit of inspiration from that channel to do this one, and sort of inspired me to do this. So, yeah, go subscribe to them. Link will be in the description. Okay, so on with how these battles will actually work. For now, I can't do proper fight animations. I'm hoping in a month or two I can, but at the moment I cannot. So I will mostly be doing some fights within Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, as well as possibly some other games. But I will try and make them kind of authentically representative of the characters as I humanly can. So then here it goes into the analysis section. I mean, as I said, because I'm not doing these fights at the moment as proper full animations, there's only so accurate I can make the characters. But I'm basically doing various research into the characters and trying, like Smash Bracket, to go off their sort of canon strength, you know, the abilities they possess. I'll sort of do like a whole chunk split between the two characters, analysing them, their origins, their abilities, and then once I've done both, we'll then go into the fight. So let's start off with our first combatant, the internet sensation himself, Dr. Michael Morbius, from the hit 2022 movie, Morbius. Okay, so Morbius was a regular dude called Dr. Michael Morbius, who created artificial blood, at least in the movie. As far as I can tell, that is a thing he did in the comics too. But anyway, and he becomes a scientist, but he's born with a rare blood condition that affects him doing things. He kind of makes him disabled. It's never really in the movie, or as far as I can tell in the comics, explained specifically what his condition actually does to him. But basically, it's implied he's imminently going to die. So he creates a cure for his condition using vampire bat DNA. Because that's a brilliant idea. So he injects himself with vampire bat DNA and fuses it with his own DNA, which then transforms him into Morbius the Living Vampire. So, as for powers and abilities, Morbius possesses kind of retractable like claws and teeth. He's obviously the most popular fictional character on the internet ever, so that's a good superpower he's got going for him. Not very useful in a versus battle though. He basically possesses pseudo-vampirism, so he kind of has vaguely all the same abilities as a vampire. He also has super strength, speed, increased agility, and senses. He also possesses echolocation bat radar, although apparently, according to the internet, he did not possess that till the Morbius movie. But it's canon, so we're including that ability. Because stuff it. Also in the Morbius movie, certainly like when I watched it, and yes, I have seen the Morbius movie, I kind of implied that he could teleport. at least either that or he goes so fast that he like effectively teleports. But when kind of looking into his speed, really the fastest speed he's gone is he can dodge like a bullet, which I mean is impressive, but it's not insane. He can also glide on air currents, but he can't properly fly. Like, unless there's wind, he can't really do anything else. He's also immortal, apparently, so that was not marginally touched on in the movie. So yeah, they're kind of the main abilities possessed by Morbius. So yeah, claws, teeth, flying, senses, healing, radar, etc. Okay, on to our second combatant, Alucard from Castlevania. So Adrian was born the son of Dracula, as in like the Count Dracula, blah blah blah, Dracula. So yeah, he was born I think like a half vampire. So it's like his mother was human, but then his father was like a vampire. So his father was basically super evil, wanted to, I don't know, conquer the world or whatever. But Adrian didn't want that. So he then grew up distant from his father and then renamed himself Alucard, which I literally did not realize till I researched him. His name is Dracula spelled backwards, which is just, yeah, how did I not notice that before? But anyway, yeah, he took the name Alucard to represent that he stood for beliefs opposite those of his father, according to the internet. So yeah, and he's kind of done various things throughout his games. It seems the main game he was in is Symphony of the Night. He's also in the animated TV show, as far as I'm aware. I haven't watched it. I kind of want to, but yeah, and he's like best friends with Richter Belmont, as far as I'm aware, from Smash Bros. At least. So in the case of powers and abilities, he is again a vampire, or like half vampire, like Morbius. So he possesses abilities pretty similar to Morbius. He has super speed. Again, as far as I can tell, his highest speed feat is him dodging a bullet. So, as far as I can tell, him and Morbius are on, like, exactly the same speed par, for having the most impressive feat I can find be dodging a bullet. Strength, he possesses, you know, your stereotypical superhuman strength. I think he also has, like, claws and teeth. He does, however, possess a sword, which Morbius does not have. But then that's also where the kind of similarities between the two end. Because, yeah, Alucard possesses a sword. He can also use dark magic because his father can, and he therefore inherited some abilities of that somehow. His main mythical ability being Hellfire, where he can literally shoot hellfire at people, so that's cool. He also has an ability called Soul Steal, where it appears he can use this ability to steal the souls of those that aren't like vampires or don't have mythical abilities. He can also shapeshift, so he can turn into a bat, which is kind of, that makes sense because he's a vampire and they kind of turn into bats. He also, again, possesses superhuman senses and also possesses an echolocation radar sense thing. He can also track people from their blood. And he also, as I said, is very good with swords. Plus, he possesses, I don't really know how these work, but he possesses something called relic cards, which allow him to summon either a fairy, a spear-wielding demon, a fireball-shooting bat, a ghost, or literally a sentient sword, which is quite cool. So yeah, that is how these two characters stack up. So let's see how they fare when they fight each other. Morbius! Unfortunately, despite his pure meme-tastic Morbin power, Morbius was not strong enough to defeat Alucard. Although their base stats may be fairly similar, with them both being able to dodge bullets and both possessing super strength, unfortunately, the main deciding factor is the fact that Alucard possesses far more mythical abilities, such as him being able to summon things and use mythical spells, which gave him the edge over Morbius, who can really only just kind of slash with claws. Even if Morbius is probably faster, he just doesn't possess the pure diversity and firepower that Alucard did. Regardless, I really hope you all enjoyed this video, and that you're looking forward to some future videos. Hopefully coming soon will be Rick, Morty, and Mr. Meeseeks versus somebody. I just haven't decided who to pit them against yet. Feel free to put your suggestions in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Deuces.